Hello everyone, welcome to a new edition of Jefferson College Today, seen every week on JCTV and online at jeffco.edu. I'm your host Roger Barentine, and with that, let's take a look at the latest news and information about Jefferson College with locations in Hillsborough, Arnold, High Ridge, Imperial, and online. Well, in light of recent public health concerns regarding food safety and the emerging popularity of locally grown food sources, the Jefferson College Library will host a public panel discussion regarding food and agriculture on Friday, September 24th from 2 until 3:30 p.m. on the Hillsborough campus. Now, panel participants will include Dean Wilson, director of the local University of Missouri Extension Office, Debbie Campbell, founder of Get Healthy DeSoto and the DeSoto Farmers Market, and Christine Jonas, a farmer participant at the DeSoto Farmers Market. In addition to the discussion, attendees will be entertained by the Back Porch Band. Now, for more information about this and other upcoming events, be sure to contact Jefferson College Access Services librarian Lisa Pritchard at area code 636-797-3000 or 942-3000, extension 160. In other news, the Jefferson College Friday Speaker Series kickoff for the 2010-11 season is scheduled for October 1st at 11:45 a.m. in the Viking Room of the Student Center on the Hillsborough campus. Stephanie Paul from the Mideast Area Agency on Aging, or MEAAA, here in Jefferson County will headline the event, and she will be discussing programs and resources available through MEAAA for older adults and their caregivers here in Jefferson County. In her role as Information and Assistance Specialist, Paul provides education on community resources as well as case management services to caregivers and older adults in Jefferson County. She has been working with older adults and their families for over 5 years and currently volunteers as an Alzheimer's Association caregiver support group facilitator. She holds a certificate of gerontology from the University of Missouri St. Louis and is a certified information and referral specialist in aging. As well, she is currently working to become a licensed clinical social worker. Now, the informative program will be held in the Viking Room of the Student Center, and admission is only $10 per person, which includes a buffet lunch with beverages and dessert. Because space is limited, reservations are required no later than September the 27th. Now, Friday Speaker Series presenters represent a broad spectrum of fields and subject areas, including regional, national, and international agencies and organizations, regional landmarks, education, historical events, professional sports, and film and television. To make reservations or to be placed on Jefferson College's Friday Speaker Series mailing list, be sure to contact Terry Ponzer at area code 636-797-3000 or 942-3000, extension 101, or simply email tponzer@jeffco.edu. Responding to the need for trained healthcare professionals in the region and across the nation, Jefferson College will begin an 8-week Certified Nurse Assistant, or CNA, program at its new locations in Imperial at 4400 Jeffco Boulevard and Cedar Hill at 6471 Cedar Hill Road starting October 18th. The Certified Nurse Assistant course is designed to teach students how to perform basic nursing care skills for residents in a long-term care facility under the supervision of charged personnel. Successful completion will enable students to take the state examination for certification as a nurse assistant. Now, instructional topics will include roles and responsibilities of the nurse assistant, understanding the elderly, safety, food service, personal care, restorative nursing, and special procedures. As well, teaching methods will include lectures, skills demonstrations, clinical demonstrations, and supervision. The classroom sessions will be held on Monday and Tuesday from 8 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., and then clinical instruction will be on Thursday and Friday from 6:45 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. And enrollment is limited to only 15 students per class. The course does meet the required 75 hours of classroom training and 100 hours of supervised on-the-job training in an approved long-term care facility, as mandated by the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services. For additional information about admittance, qualifications, required materials, and costs, contact Jefferson College CNA Program Coordinator Karen Amsden at area code 636-797-3000 or 942-3000, extension 461, or email nursing@jeffco.edu. Well, in sports news, the Jefferson College Athletics Hall of Fame, which was established this past July, is now accepting nominations for the inaugural 2011 Hall of Fame class. Up to 7 new members may be inducted in this first year, and nominations can be submitted by former players, coaches, college personnel and contributors, supporters, and sports professionals. Nominations, by the way, should be submitted to Jefferson College Athletics Director Doug Stotler no later than November 1st. And if you have questions about the Hall of Fame, you can certainly contact the Jefferson College Athletics Department at area code 636-797-3000 or 942-3000, extension 394, or just email Doug Stotler at dstotler@jeffco.edu. And in a related sports matter, the Jefferson College volleyball and soccer teams are now well into their respective seasons and playing hard to win their respective conferences. On behalf of Jefferson College, you're invited to catch all the action of every hit, every spike, and every goal. So come on and join the fun and cheer your Jefferson College Viking teams to victory. For complete schedules, player profiles, and statistics for all of Jefferson College's athletic teams, be sure to visit the Jefferson College website at www.jeffco.edu and then click on the athletics link. It has been said that the true measure of success for any college or university is the impact its graduates have on the world in which they live and work. And for one Jefferson College, graduates' talents and compassions have led her to a remarkable act of generosity that is impacting the region in an overwhelmingly positive way. A painting by Jefferson College alumna Erica Kavanaugh, who graduated with an Associate of Arts degree in 1999 and has been a full-time artist since 2002, is now helping 2 St. Louis nonprofit organizations in the fight against breast cancer within our community. Kavanaugh, who has lost several family members to cancer, created a painting titled Survivor with the intention of donating the proceeds to the St. Louis affiliation of Susan G. Komen for the Cure. Now, the painting depicts a woman, arms outstretched, portraying a feeling of accomplishment and victory, being 5 years cancer-free. Now, she auctioned the painting on eBay, with bids closing the day before this year's Susan G. Komen St. Louis Race for the Cure. And the high bidder, who was Bill Mahler, a Fenton St. Louis firefighter and EMT, paid Kavanaugh $250 for the painting, and then in turn, Kavanaugh matched those funds for a donation of $500 to Komen St. Louis affiliate. Mahler and his wife Mary in turn donated the painting to SSM Breast Care at SSM St. Clair Health Center. And the painting is now installed in the Women's Center reception area for the enjoyment of patients and visitors. Following her selfless actions, Erica was featured on KSDK and in several area newspapers. And in fact, her work, including Survivor, may be viewed at www.born2paint.com. Of course, Jefferson College is extremely proud and fortunate, in fact, to be represented by graduates like Erica who have discovered their futures and are proudly living and working in communities across the St. Louis region. And finally, to support the mission of Jefferson College, JCTV is always working to provide viewers with educational and informational programming that is unique and exclusive to Jefferson County. If you have suggestions regarding the types of programs you'd like to see here on JCTV, feel free to contact the station by writing to JCTV at 1000 Viking Drive, Hillsboro, Missouri 63050, or by emailing us at jctv@jeffco.edu. That will do it for the news portion of Jefferson College Today. Stay tuned as I visit with Director of Instructional Support and Academic Computing, Allan Wamsley, as Jefferson College Today continues here on JCTV.
Very affordable. They have a convenient tutoring schedule that works around my schedule.
Jefferson College is very challenging.
They have a diverse campus.
This is the very beginning of the second part of my life, and I have a new sense of direction and a new passion in my life.
They are committed with my success.
The quality of education here, I would give it a 10. I'm Kimberly Clark.
I'm Shayna Payton.
I'm Jose Soloria.
I'm Rachel Schrage.
I'm Della Selman.
I'm Nick Schaefer.
I'm Stacy Self, and I discovered my future at Jefferson College.
And welcome back. You're watching Jefferson College Today here on JCTV. I'm your host, Roger Barentine, and it's a pleasure for me this afternoon to have as my guest Jefferson College Director of Instructional Technology and Support, as well as Academic Computing, Mr. Allan Wamsley. Hi, Allan. Welcome to Jefferson College Today.
Thank you, Roger.
Well, as you may well know, over the course of the last several weeks and months, I've had an opportunity to visit with a number of individuals at Jefferson College, particularly Jefferson College President Dr. Comiskey. And one of the things that he has spoken about is Jefferson College's initiative to bring improved broadband service here to Jefferson County. And I know in your role as academic computing and instructional support here at Jefferson College, we have been helping to put together a Need for High-Speed event that's going to be coming up on October the 12th. That's really a broadband community forum and expo. And so with those things really as a basis today to start our discussion, talk a little bit about what that event is going to be, and really more importantly, how residents will benefit by coming to the expo and broadband forum.
Thank you, Roger. Broadband is certainly an important topic right now. And so one of the things we're wanting to do with this forum is to talk about the uses of broadband, and particularly within our area, in education, small business, healthcare. We're wanting to let people know how it's being used and the importance of broadband to our community, to individuals, as well as just broad economic issues. So we're going to have representatives at that forum that will be on a panel, and we're going to start out the evening having a discussion, a panel discussion and some presentations. And then we're going to end the evening with an expo where we're going to have different broadband providers talking about their products and services and availability. And we think that consumers will come away from that evening knowing more about the importance of broadband, how it's being used currently in the county, and then maybe hopefully, hooking up consumers with providers.
And again, that date is October the 12th.
Yes.
Where and when will it be held?
Well, it will be at the Jefferson College Hillsborough campus, and it will be in our Viking room, and it will start at 7 o'clock in the evening, and the panel presentation will start at 7 and run till about 8 o'clock, and then we'll have the expo after that for about an hour.
And one of the things it seems to me that I hear thrown about an awful lot these days, whether it's on TV or something I get in the mail or what have you, is the term high speed. You know, high speed this, high speed that. From your experience here at Jefferson and as well as your background, how does one really define what it means to have high speed broadband internet or connection service?
Well, it's a great question, Roger. It used to be that anytime you had a connection speed greater than dial-up, that was called high speed. And so, being in some of the rural areas in the state of Missouri, there are a lot of people still on dial-up connections. They don't have really other very affordable options available to them. So a number of people still gain access through dial-up. But what we're finding in more urban areas is that we have a lot of consumers in urban areas that have passed through kind of the first generation high-speed connections, and they're now in a generation that's quite a bit beyond that. And what we're finding in Jefferson County is we have some people in those more kind of urban or more population-dense areas that have kind of a second-generation connection, but we're having a lot of people that are still in that first generation, or what some are referring to as basic broadband, which can be referred to anything above dial-up up to, and we're starting to get a little technical here, so People with pocket protectors, they kind of like to hear these terms, but a lot of other people don't. 768,000 bits per second, or 768 kilobits per second is how a lot of people refer to it. So above 768 kilobits per second is considered more of a second generation connection. And less than that is kind of a basic or first generation broadband speeds. And so what we're finding is that to gain access to a lot of this important, more current, media-rich content, you can do it. You can gain access with your first generation, but sometimes it doesn't work very well, or it's choppy or slow. And if you have a second generation connection, you are able to gain a lot of that information more quickly, more efficiently, and you can just be a better consumer of it.
Yeah. It sounds to me, and you certainly correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds to me like what you're saying is that certainly there are a number of residents, myself included in Jefferson County, that perhaps have just only recently been able to get internet service. Mm-hmm. And although we're extremely happy and extremely grateful that we have it, I think I'm hearing you say we shouldn't settle necessarily just for the sake of having it, because there are faster speeds available, correct?
Yes. And not just because I agree, yes. And I, like you, Roger, also am not too far away from dial-up access. But we have a in my house, we have a first generation connection right now. And we're certainly happy to have that. It's better. But there is a lot of content that we still don't have access to. There's a lot of types of services that we can't well receive in our house. And so DSL and cable isn't available in my area. And so I'm one of probably the more average consumers in Jefferson County that I don't have dial-up, but I'm in a first generation speed. I'm happy to have that, but there's a lot of information, a lot of services that I can't quite well use yet.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. We're not necessarily, again, talking about speed for speed's sake. Put into the context of an individual who is wanting improved service, what kinds of things would they be able to use those things for? Obviously, we're talking Jefferson College promoting this, so I think there's an educational aspect, it seems, but there are probably a number of other related areas that this technology could be used for. So tell us a little bit about that.
Right. Well, there's a term being used now that you're starting to hear more and more in the media. It's a term called convergence, and that term has been around for a while. And a lot of people have looked forward to that day, almost since the early 90s. People knew that it was going to be around someday, but they just didn't know when. Well, that term convergence is coming around where people are seeing a merging of different forms of media over their internet connection. The lines are being blurred. It used to be we would turn on our television and we would watch television, and then we would go to our computer and we would do things on our computer, and then we would go over and pick up our telephone and talk on our telephone. Or if you were in a business and you happened to have a video conferencing equipment, you spent a lot of money on that, the specialized connection, you would have video conferencing. All those things were separate in their own little boxes. Well, now, with these higher speeds, the second generation speeds, we're finding that all these technologies are merging together, and it's happening very rapidly. And what we're seeing is that people in urban areas have these technologies, they're blurred, and they're already starting to speak the language. Their children are learning, how to navigate these types of technologies, and they're learning how to use them to gain information. That's really oftentimes what we want. We want to gain information, or sometimes just be entertained. But when you don't have that second generation speeds, you're not quite there yet. You can't quite get that full, rich experience that we're seeing more that people, in more urban areas have access to. And so, what that means in the form of education, which obviously we're very interested in, we're not able to. We have to kind of scale back some of our offerings, or be very careful about some of the types of media we use, because we know that a lot of our consumers can't use that media yet. And so there's a lot of types of educational services that we want to be able to provide, but we're having to be a little more conservative because we know that a lot of our population in Jefferson County isn't quite ready for that. And so it's important in medicine and business. When businesses want to move into the area, they need high speed and that second generation high speed so they can effectively operate. And education needs that, medicine needs that, and our consumers need it.
Yeah. So certainly integral in terms of improved life and quality of life, it sounds like, here in Jefferson County.
Absolutely.
Along with that, do you find from your experience that most people know what their connection speed is at home?
No.
No.
Most people don't.
I would have to raise my hand and say I do not, certainly.
And I think we are the way that high speed is being marketed. I think we oftentimes find ourselves victims of the marketing efforts of some of these campaigns, and so we hear terms like fast, or very fast, or blazing fast,
Lightning fast.
Lightning
yeah.
fast. Well, what does fast mean? Well, when you're on a dial-up connection, anything faster than dial-up seems very, very fast. And so text can move across very slow connections. But when you start to move pictures, it's a little harder to move pictures. And when you start to move moving pictures with sound, that becomes even harder. And then moving pictures that have more resolution with higher quality sound, even harder still. And so most people don't know their speeds. And sometimes the speeds can be advertised, and when you get that service, you might find that the speeds are a little slower than maybe what they're advertised as being. And sometimes it's especially true if you're getting your service through a cell phone connection. The terrain, the terrain makes a difference. If you have items that are blocking your view of the towers,
sure.
Sometimes that can degrade the signal, and that hurts your connection speeds.
Knowing that, and you've got my curiosity piqued now. I honestly don't know what my speed is. Are there web tools or some kind of tool out there being developed that can help Jefferson County and find out what their web speed is?
Yes. One way to find those is by going to Google, a search engine, and at Google you could type in broadband speed test, and there are several tests that are out there. But what we are doing is we are putting up, in conjunction with Join In, a website here for Jefferson County Services, we are putting up some speed test information or some links to current speed tests.
Terrific.
So at your home or business, you could click on Test My Speed and get a measurement of your current speeds. Now, they're not entirely accurate, so oftentimes you might have to try it at different times of day or use different speed tests and then kind of take an average, and that gives you a pretty good sense of what your actual connection speed is.
Great. That should be a very good. And I'm supposing there's no cost to that
No,
service.
it's absolutely free.
Oh, great. Along with that, again, as we continue to speak about the Broadband Community Forum and Expo, we've talked about it being on October the 12th from 7 until 9 p.m. here at Jefferson College. Will those that attend have an opportunity to link directly with internet service providers that night, or at least get on a mailing list of sorts?
Yes. We have invited several providers to this forum, and many of them will have booths, and so people can talk to them and get information from them. And I think what people will find is there are providers in the area that they may not even have known about, especially if one still has dial-up. There are a number of different ways that you can get a first-generation connection, and sometimes companies don't have the same marketing budgets as other companies, and so they're not as well known. And so we're inviting some of those providers as well to this forum.
Very good. And again, you said earlier that there's certainly a much broader need for improved broadband access beyond just what we do here at Jefferson College. Are there going to be others beyond, obviously, the college who are involved in terms of other businesses in the county that can show examples of how they are using broadband technology?
Yes. We're going to have representatives from Jefferson Regional.
Oh, good. In medicine?
Yes,
Great.
in healthcare. And then also we're going to have a local small business, the Hopkins.
Hopkins Lumber in DeSoto.
Yes, right.
Oh, that's quite a diverse group there, from
Right.
medicine to business to the college as well.
Right.
Well, I know you've got some exciting news beyond what's happening with the Broadband Community Forum and Expo on October 12th. and that is just news hot off the presses literally this week that Jefferson College has received a Broadband Technology Opportunity Program, BTOP for short, which is a grant that will help improve service and provide some related broadband services here in Jefferson College and particularly in Jefferson County. Talk a little bit more about what that grant means to the college and most importantly what it will mean to residents in the Jefferson County area.
Mm-hmm. Well, the grant provides public computing centers that will be at 3 locations in Jefferson County. So at our Jefferson College Imperial location, at our Jefferson College Arnold location, and our new location in Cedar Hill. And the addresses for those locations are on the website.
Okay.
We currently have facilities for people to come from the community and use computers to gain a high-speed connection if they don't have that. But we're expanding those services. And also, a very exciting part of that grant is that we will be providing free training to people in our community, and they'll be able to come to training programs on how to use a computer, different internet service providers. We're going to talk about more about the bits, where you can become more conversant in those terms, how to find job online, telemedicine. So we have a broad range of classes that we will be offering for free to county residents.
Really? And when do you think that program will be? Obviously, you've just gotten the grant notification this week. How soon will we maybe seeing the classes up and running?
We will be advertising in local newspapers, and also we send a direct mailing from the Continuing Education Department here at the college to the households in Jefferson County. So keep an eye out for your continuing education mailing coming up in this winter.
Great.
And we will have the list of classes and the times and how you register for them. And we anticipate those classes starting in mid-spring of this year.
And again, they're absolutely free, right?
Free.
No cost whatsoever.
No cost.
Great. Gotta love free.
Yes.
Well, with that, we're just about out of time today, but let's recap again in terms of the Community Forum and Expo and all of the things that are associated with it, as well as the BTOP grant that you just mentioned. The Expo is scheduled for October the 12th. It will be in the Jefferson College Student Center in the Viking Room and Annex, and then as well, we'll be going from 7 until 9 o'clock. Does one need to register for the event or simply show up for that event?
Our providers do need to register to let us know, and we have sent direct invitations to them. But for community residents, they don't need to register. They would just come and enjoy the services that are being provided and learn more about broadband.
And then as well, the good news of the Broadband Technology Opportunity Program, or BTOP, folks can get more information about those free classes at the Community Forum as well, correct?
Yes, we'll have more information there on the classes. We don't have all of the classes in their final form yet.
Well,
We do
you
have
just learned
titles and topics, and we'll have more information on that.
Oh,
Yes.
very good. Well, I appreciate your time today. This is some great information, and as I said, if anything at a minimum, you've certainly gotten my curiosity piqued. I want to learn what my speed is, and really see if the push for improved service in Jefferson County. So, thank you for your time.
Great. Thanks,
I enjoyed
Roger.
it. Thank you. Well, there you have it. Again, some great information about improved broadband connection speeds here in Jefferson County. And again, make a note on your calendar. That event is scheduled for October the 12th. It begins at 7 p.m. and it will be held here on the Jefferson College Hillsborough campus. It's in the Student Center Viking Room and Annex. And again, lots of great information about being able to improve your broadband connection speed, seeing some demonstrations in terms of how county businesses and organizations are using broadband technology. And then lastly, information about that exciting opportunity in terms of the BTOP grant that provides those free classes and services here at Jefferson College. Well, that'll do it for this edition of Jefferson College Today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you here next time.